Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. I have been wanting to connect with the energetic vibration of Princess Diana for some time now. She has been there in the background for many months, even probably a year or so. She is, as it works with these channelings, it becomes more urgent. And then when I start to open up these readings, I get their image coming forward. And I had planned another reading for this morning, but there she was in that pearl choker with the sapphire, which I think, did Prince Charles give that to Camilla? Maybe that's why she showed me that. But there's something else there as well. She is wanting to talk about the courage that Prince Harry has displayed as well. And she also wants to dispel the idea that William and Harry have split and, you know, there's this kind of rivalry there. This was more about two very, very close brothers having to adjust to a different role and finding their way back to one another. Prince William has always, she's telling me, been raised to put the crown and his duty first and foremost. But with time, there'll be a coming back together of the families, of Prince William's family. His wife, his children, and Prince Harry's wife and children. The family units will come together. There could even be a joint holiday down the track together so that the cousins can get to know one another. Prince Harry and the Duchess Meghan did absolutely the right thing in taking on the media. And they will always win when it is so... something needed to be done. Something needed to be done. The relationships of the palace, feeding the media, keeping on the side of the media, using the media, for PR type purposes. It's sort of a codependency type of relationship. And Prince Harry and the Duchess stood up to that and wanting to change that. And that is because of Princess Diana's death and the impact that it has on Prince Harry, but his protection, wanting to protect his own family. It's like she's using the word mortal terror with Prince Harry. That's how much that impacted on him. Her death impacted on him. And let's face it, the paparazzi were hounding her. So let me just get a clairvoyant image here. She's saying that her heart is as light as a feather these days and it floats. There's no weighing down of love because the heart is the symbol for love. There's no more brokenheartedness. There's no more feelings of abandonment which go back to her childhood. That was one of the points that she made very, very early this morning when she came to me. This goes back to her childhood and always looking for somebody to care for her. Boarding schools, her parents' marriage breaking up, very much left alone at a time when she needed to be nurtured and cared for. And it's almost like that song, looking for love in all the wrong places. And she's saying that even though she doesn't regret her marriage to the Prince of Wales, it was a case of looking for that love, and almost it being inevitable that she would be let down because she came into it with a sense of, romanticism. Somebody will save me. And of course she was bitterly let down. She spent a lot of her adult life in that marriage finding herself, because the truth was that the pathway forward was never expecting somebody to save you. It was about saving yourself. She said she's still got more of those lessons to come, and she will do that in time. She's working on that now. So let's see what images she's showing me. I keep getting a reference to the crown and to truth. She's saying that's not the total truth, and that portrayed very badly or very negatively on Prince Charles, and that she doesn't carry any weight, because literally her heart, which I asked, what stone should I have? And she said just simply a feather. Her heart is as light as a feather now. So she didn't take that grudge. She said there was a lot of, they hurt one another as a result of that marriage, which neither of them should have really been in, although it was part of their life contracts. But it was like this back and forward, tit for tat. I hurt you, you hurt me. But she's telling me there was genuine love. There was a time when everything was light. Everything was gentle. Everything flowed between the two of them, and that was very much around when their children were very, very young. They were united in this common cause, and also their duty, their jobs, basically. Well, it was more than a job, a duty to, it was almost like a calling for her. And she felt that very early on. But relationships, of course, always get in the way of these. I guess, we've got a pathway that we take forward to impact on people in whatever way we are called to. And she said, relationships then complicate. But she said she found herself during all those years. The marriage particularly soured because of this back and forth, which neither of them were able to overcome. And she said she was just a kid when she married him, and that she changed. He, not so much. Had she met him when they were both around the same age, as it could have worked. But because of his position, because he'd always been the centre of attention, because he was the heir to the crown, he was never going to change to give them a chance to come together. And so they went their separate ways. I want to come back to Prince Harry and just see what else she is showing me here, because this is one of the real reasons. So she's showing me a memory of him on his trike, one of those big wheels at the front, two at the back. And she said he was always a daredevil, even when he was that age. And then he just graduated from trikes to horses, and he would always go as fast as he could. And then to the military, to the army, always wanting to be out there, not in front. And this is the real thing she wants you to know about Prince Harry. He's not wanting to be in front, he's wanting to walk side by side. And she said he did that in the military. He was able to bring people through. And if you look, the Invictus Games, everything, if you look at his life to date, you'll see that this is someone that wants to use his position, his strength, to bring people alongside and bring them forward so that they can walk together and stand shoulder to shoulder. And of course, when the Duchess was being pilloried so much, regardless of what anyone thinks, she was falling behind. He had to bring her he's a very special person. A very special person. He had to bring her alongside, and if that meant leaving his country, then that's what he would do. They are very happy in America. Both of them are extremely happy. And she also wants to say that she floats between the two families and the grandchildren. And she often will be that light breeze on their cheek, like this feather, floating through the breeze, a spiritual touch when they feel that. Her sons, I think, know her presence when she's around. The grandchildren are too small. They didn't, but they do know intuitively something kindly is there with them. So, Harry, you shouldn't worry about Prince Harry. He will continue to do what he's been called to do. Nothing's going to stop that. He will never falter. And she's saying the new baby completes things for him. That now he has this family of his own. Because, of course, while she gave him that sense, she was very careful bringing her children up not to ever abandon them. Whether they were in boarding school, whether she was always there, she was always a phone call, she was always a visit, she would always go there, sometimes unannounced as well, and spring up on them and give them that surprise, because she always wanted them to feel that love. And she's saying that part of her complex was this early childhood abandonment, which was why she generated, instead of it closing off the heart chakra, it opened her heart chakra, and she gave that to people wherever. Prince Harry picked that up from her. Wherever she could, she would give that sense of bringing people to her to feel that love. So when she's been called the Queen of Hearts, that's what she was, though she never wanted to be, obviously, that royal position, because she's saying she was quite disillusioned during this lifetime in some ways with the royal family. She knew and could see some of the things which she said were always hidden from view. She preferred to think of herself, and this is how she turned up to me, this morning when we started the reading clairvoyantly. She came in a cape, cloak, almost like a medieval lady. And she's saying that is the energy that she had even as Princess Diana when they took the title away. That was the energy. So she was always the Lady Diana. Always. Always. Never lost that. Never will. And that's the kind of regalness that she admires. It's, I'm going to say, real class. That's an odd expression. But there is much about the royal family that is not, I'm just going to say, not regal. I mean, there was something with Prince Andrew and Fergie, that Sarah Ferguson as well. Something around that she didn't agree with. There's lots you don't know, she said, and we'll never know, and she's not about to spill anything here today, spill the tea, but she's saying they're not saints, and neither was she. She was a human being. She made mistakes. She had these affairs when she, let's go back to these affairs. When she wasn't getting the love that she needed from her husband. And, there's a question, did she try enough? Was she, mature enough, wise enough to do her best with this marriage? Maybe if she escalated the toing and froing between the two of them, it was quite poisonous. Quite poisonous. But she was so pleased. I was only a girl, she said. I was only a girl. She was really pleased when she left that marriage. She felt like a weight was off her shoulders. She had escaped. And she said Harry and Meghan feel that too. They have this sense of real happiness in America. What does I just want to look at, she's given me 2 decks to work with today. What does she think about where the world is? And she's saying we need to get back to basics. Remember the initiatives for the Ethiopian crisis. Remember how people came together. The world is more fragmented today as a result of progress than what it has been without that progress. And she's saying that social media, of course, is also responsible for that, partly for that fragmentation. But it's more about people needing to run to survive all the time, and so they've got blinkers on. They've got no time to help. But she said if they just opened up that heart chakra and gave of themselves, it would be worth any race that they're trying to win, regardless of whatever that race might be. I'm going to have a big house. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. She said a little dose of love will cure all. Okay, so I'm just going back to the Duchess's pregnancy. She's safe, she's well. She wouldn't have been if she had stayed in the UK. In fact, the marriage ultimately would have split apart and Prince Harry would have regretted that for the rest of his life. So they had no choice but to leave. In time, and I'm talking about years, they will come back and they will have the 2 homes and they will go between the 2. But it's not going to be this year or next year or the year after. It's like when these 2 are free souls, that's what drew them together. Independence and freedom and this heart wanting to help. And again, the media, which tells that much of the story and not the whole story, would have treated her, Meghan, more kindly if they had told the full story, but they were only interested in headlines. She said that one day we will move away from that kind of media. And in fact, it's already started. It's like chipping away at a stone. Well, the stone's been chipped away at, and one day it's going to fall. She's talking about the tabloids in the UK. She says a lot is going to happen in the UK over the next few years. It's a big wake-up call for them. The monarchy, she says that Prince William, I want to come back to Prince William, is absolutely the right. He has a very strong sense of social justice. It's at the heart of him, and he will step out and say what needs to be said at the right time. He will provide leadership, even though the monarchy is a figurehead. He's going to provide. He's not going to sit idly by. He's finding his way at the moment, and he will step out in the future, and he will make a difference as the future king. And she said his children are being brought up, not the way that even Prince William was brought up, or not even the way that Prince Charles. So as each generation goes on, the monarchy evolves and changes. Okay, let's pull some cards now. The Good Tarot. She's saying because she was such a good girl. Wink, wink. All right, so, yeah, the other side of her, of course, was humour. And, in some ways, at a lot of levels, she wasn't complicated where that came. Her emotions were complicated. But her self-expression had this simplicity, this humour to it, this openness, this compassion. And when all three came together, or when they all came together, she was enchanting. She was enchanting. She did have a role to play in this lifetime, and it was through marrying the Prince of Wales as a girl, because she keeps saying that I was only a girl. I was only a girl. I was only a girl. Okay, what messages? What messages? What messages do you have, Princess Diana and Lady Diana? Because she's saying she will always be Lady Diana. Lady Di, she says. Okay, something's wanting to come out, and it is love. And I was almost going to say that when you're feeling weighed down by things, simply step out and feel that breeze on your cheek and open that heart chakra, because so many people have closed that off because of what life does. And she said hers was still open, even though, and this is what she wants. One of the main reasons that she's come through today is to bring this message, because she says love heals everything. Love. The lightness of love. Love is light. Light is love. Bringing that healing through the heart chakra. If you're feeling closed off, if you're feeling, it's around disengaging the mind and bringing and opening up the heart chakra. Let's see what else is there. The Eight of Cups, yeah. This is heartbreak and loss and healing. These are her messages for today. Because she said she can see that people are alone. And this goes back to the themes of her reincarnation in this life that she's just lived. This abandonment, reaching out for love. So many are alone. And the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. I'm actually quite overcome, because this was kind of like the life that she lived this time around, and why people mourned her so deeply, because she did open up to them. She did extend the touch, the loving touch. And there was strength in that, and people saw that. Many have lost. This almost looks like her passing as well. I mean, she appeared to me in this cloak at the beginning. She's farewelling this lifetime. She's moving to something else. She's moving to the light. Don't mourn her still. She fulfilled her purpose. She's still around in the breeze, as light as a feather, still giving that love, still helping people. Six of Pentacles. She's talking about insecurity now. When people don't feel like they deserve this love or this help. They can't see just how special they really are. They are caught in the prison of their own thoughts and their own anxieties. I'm getting very much this look up there and feeling and experiencing the love and not shutting yourself off from that. The Nine of Cups. Everybody deserves love. Everybody is loved. Even if you've shut yourself off, the universe has a loving embrace for you. One more card, please. Patience. Patience. Time. Your time. Give yourself time. Let's see what is at the base of the pack. The Nine of Swords. Being weighed down by anxiety. We are anxious at this time. And it's manifesting, she's going to COVID. It's manifesting and everything else. The disconnection from other people, the disconnection from communities and families. Anxiety. Again, she always comes back with happiness, joy. Thinking, leaving those thoughts behind, getting out of your head and opening up your heart chakra. There's one more card here. The Two of Swords, the Two of Air. Making that decision. The Hermit, reflection. Again, the Nines and the Five of Pentacles. Making that decision to come in out of the cold. To open yourself up to the universe's loving embrace. I can hear the breeze just outside my window. Okay. Final words, please, Princess Diana. So, and yeah, she's giving me the image of the sunflower. Whatever is broken, whatever is dark, whatever is broken can be fixed. Whatever is broken can be fixed. You have to have faith in the longer term journey as the universe unfolds its purpose for you, for what you're going through. And if you aren't experiencing love, give love out, because it will come back to you. It will come back to you. And if you can't do that, if you're unable to do that, be patient. Don't force anything and just allow things to open up to you. Because there is always this loving embrace for you, regardless of what part of the journey that you're on. Okay. Oh, she's just showing me a pink heart now. Love. Sending love. She is sending love to everyone that's listening to this. And she is reminding me just how much she loves her children. Each of them equally. Her heart still beats for her children. And she'll always be there for them and for those who remember her. Always there. She will always be there for those who remember and loved her. All right. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'll be back again with another reading soon. Thank you.